All right, well, let's hope this goes.
Welcome to the podcast with your favorite cash flow guys, Mike and Blaine, giving you the best advice while having a beer. When you're running a business, there are problems every day. Let Mike and Blaine help you out and guide your way. Cheers to the good times with Mike and Blaine for business, beer, and BS.
Hey, it's another episode of Mike and Blaine. I'm Mike Blaine, also known as Cashflow Mike. That is my friend and my partner, my podcast partner. That's Blaine Birch, the CEO of Dry Run, the best cash flow forecasting software on the planet. What's up, man?
I'm ready to go, man. It feels like it's been a while. I know it hasn't been, but with the summer, it's been like off and on a little bit. So it's fun. I think we're maybe back in a bit of a groove. Hopefully, we'll see what happens. But yeah, I'm excited.
Well, yeah, it was the Tuesday thing, right? Because I was traveling. I was in Colorado. Then I was in I was in Sacramento last week. It's the travel screwed it up, and you're gonna be mad. But I'm gonna find out right after this. But Courtney may want to take me to Hot Springs, Arkansas next week for my birthday. So I don't know yet.
That's worth a birthday. That's worth a birthday. We'll let you play hooky for that one, man. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. Yeah. So, hey, if this is your first time ever listening to Mike and Blaine, we talk about business, beer, and BS. And one of the things we do right up front is just introduce beers that we're interested in, liking, drinking today. So, Speaking of, what are you drinking?
So I'm drinking. I've had this one in the last couple of weeks because I just have some in the fridge, but I really like it. It is the Bent Stick, 4:30 p.m. and it's a stout. But it says a late afternoon stout. It's only 4.5%. It's delicious. It is a really outstanding beer. So good on you guys at Bent Stick. One of my it's been one of my favorites for the last couple months, where I just kind of always try and have some in the fridge.
Put you on the spot. Bent Stick. What does that mean? Is that golf? Is that something else?
I think it's probably nerdier than that, because if you look at the can, there's a wizard.
Probably not golf.
A wizard and lightning. So I get the sense maybe they're not big golfers there, but I'm not sure if that's where it comes from or if that just is on this can. But I'm not sure, actually. Interesting. I don't know where it came from. I'll have to ask next time I'm at the brewery.
All right. So one of our beer sponsors, neighbor Pat, is back in business. He goes, I'm tired of you skipping me. I'm tired of you not giving me credit for bringing you beer. So he brought me 2 weeks worth of beers at once, right? Nice. So this time, Pat loves pumpkin beers. He's like a pumpkin spice type of guy or something like that.
And it doesn't even have to be October, which I'm always a little shocked at when it's a little bit early for that, it feels. But
have you been to any of the stores? They already got the Halloween candy out and they already got the decorations up. It's July. It's August.
It's August. And I know I saw that I saw it in Costco the other day. I was like walking through and there's Halloween stuff. I'm like, okay, I shouldn't be here. This is wrong.
It's a good thing candy corn doesn't go bad.
Yeah.
Exactly. I think I got candy corn from the 80s. It's still good.
Yeah. It's good enough. They might break their teeth on it, but it's still fresh enough.
All right, so he brought me some Elysian. It's called Night Owl Pumpkin Ale. So I always like it, but this guy loves it, dude. I mean, he's always got a pumpkin something another in his hand. So yeah, thanks, Pat. Appreciate it.
Cool.
When it cools down and it's not 400 degrees at night, we'll get the bags back out.
Nice. Yeah, I keep forgetting it's hot there. Here we have had just a horrible summer, and it's fall already. It's cold out there. It's mid-August. We should be having beautiful weather, and we're just not. So that kind of sucks. But we've got some other beer sponsors. Larry Weinstein, CPA out of Houston, Texas. If you are looking for a CPA, get hold of the Cashflow Cowboy, and he's going to help you out. Thanks again, Larry.
There you go. Hey, in Family Matters, Family Counts, we're going to talk about Trey. So Trey is our subscriber, our subscriber. he's our own personal subscriber, right?
He actually subscribes. Everyone else buys in a batch. He subscribes. Awesome. Thanks, Trey. It's awesome.
Yeah, he made that commitment. So that's what he does with family. He commits to family the same way he does the shows. So thanks, Trey.
Yeah. And I'm going to let you introduce Karen, because you know Karen really well. So I want you to introduce her as well.
Karen, I got to tell you what, she was on another podcast with Diane Gardner, and she does kind of a home services podcast. And Diane was telling me this week that Karen as a guest about a year ago is still the most popular and most downloaded episode on process optimization. So
Nice.
it's really cool. I mean, I'm like going, "Hey, you gotta remember, I was on that podcast and she gets more downloads than I did.
Then you do, yeah. Nobody's counting except for maybe Karen.
So not only is she a best-selling author on Amazon, she's got a book called Stop Growing Broke, Start Growing Profit, but she also has one of the most downloaded episodes of Diane Gardner's Home Services. And I got to figure out the name of that thing. I'm sure I know it and it slipped my mind. But anyway, she's got a lot to say. And if you have a process problem, if you got a cash flow problem, contact Karen Harrison of Michigan.
That's awesome. Thanks again, Karen. And so now we're going to actually, before we get into the topic for the week, please like, subscribe, follow. Please like it. If you're watching it right now, the algorithms love it when you click like. But really appreciate if you click like, subscribe, follow, tell your friends about the show. But we also have a topic, and I always, Mike always makes a song. Well, he has AI make a song. It's like literally AI slop. So you guys could enjoy some AI slop with a song. But it's about our topic. So I'm going to introduce the topic with the song, and it's just a short little snippet here. And then, Mike, you can tell us how he came up with this idea for this week.
There you go.
Boots on Broadway, boots in LA. Everybody's country or so they say. I've got a fiddle rap, got a twang. Settle up with Mike Blaine. Business, beer, and BS.
All right.
Dude, don't you love it? No, put it back on. Put it back on.
Oh, did you? Oh, okay.
No,
Okay,
we're going country today.
My Stetson is a little rougher around the edges than yours, I think. So
All the Texans, they'd be mad at me. So I got to tip it up just a little bit for the show. But Isn't it funny that everybody's going country? Everybody wants to be country now. Everybody wants to be a cowboy.
I look like Festus from Gunsmoke. Take that off.
I just thought it was funny you had one. I'm like, oh my God, I even brought one out too.
Well, and you know what? This hat, just to know where my dad found this on the side of the road around 1965, and it was in rough shape then. So it's been around the block a few times. But anyway, you look like that. You belong with that. That looks like I said, I look like Festus from Gunsmoke with that thing.
All right, so here's what happened. And if you go to Facebook right now, you'll see what I'm talking about. This is where it all came from. Have you seen the post I put out right before the show?
No, I didn't.
Mike Blaine on the Mike and Blaine page. Yeah. Okay, so this just happened yesterday.
Okay.
Where 12 NFL teams just put out it was their stadium, it was a date, and it was a skeleton-looking face with a beard. Am I going, what? Mike and Blaine is not going to those stadiums on those dates.
Not unless they pay us an awful lot of money or invite us. One of the two.
No. So Luke Combs kind of trolled, right, and had the 12 stadiums that he's going to go to in North America put out just that, right? The field, the stadium, his, I guess, logo, a skull logo with a beard on it. Yeah. And so I'm going, what? Because one of the places they're going is Kansas City, not Baltimore, Mike. I mean, Luke Combs will not go to Baltimore to play in your state. He will. I mean, he will. Don't get me wrong. If you invite him, he'll go. The other place I thought was interesting was Edmonton. Yep. Do you have a stadium there? Is there a stadium in Edmonton? I know it's not an NFL stadium, but he's going to Edmonton.
Well, yeah, the stadium holds for a concert, I'm guessing, because they do floor as well, 65, 70,000 people, something like that. Yeah. And people do like their country music here. And I know that now there were, oh boy, I know my indie outlaw country, I'm kind of not as good at top 40, but Luke Combs, I'm sure, sold that out maybe more than one night. Now there was a show recently with Jelly Roll, and somebody opened for him. You probably know, another guy with tats on his face and all that stuff. But a storm, pardon me?
Post Malone.
Post Malone. Yeah. So that sold out that stadium. Unfortunately, a massive storm came in, almost turned into like pandemonium in the stadium, from what I hear. They had to cancel the show. Everyone was, I guess, was stampeding for the doors. It didn't sound like a really good scene, but they did at least give their money back. But I also know that we may have to ask Chad about that. But what's his name? But one of the biggest country stars, Garth Brooks. It takes me a while to pull out country names. He actually has a banner in our hockey stadium because he sold out some epic number of nights in Edmonton. It was something like we may have to look it up because it was something like 7 nights or something. He literally sold the hockey rink out night after night after night for like a week or a week and a half, something like that.
Dude, that's what he does. He just keeps adding nights as long as people keep buying the tickets.
Yeah,
Just like
that's
craziness.
It's crazy. I'm gonna have to I'm just gonna look that up while you're talking a little bit about like where this idea came from, because I want to know how many he did actually.
All right, so he just kind of finished up his 2026 tour, right? Luke Combs did.
Mhm.
And he's announcing 2027 what he's going to do, right? And I'm like, man, that's a brilliant marketing campaign because it didn't say what it was. It was just his skull-faced, bearded guy,
Mhm.
the stadium, and the date. And I'm like going, he didn't say what it was. He didn't say who it was. He didn't really say where it was. And I'm like going, there's enough information there to get you curious and you want to know more. Right. And I thought, okay, that's a great connection. But it also led me to believe, I'm going, I'm seeing more and more and more just country being everywhere. Right. The top 5 songs on Billboard right now today, for the first time, Billboard is like all music, but the top 5 songs are all country or country inspired or Western inspired.
It's
First
a
time ever.
little, yeah, that's a little shocking to me, but I'm always shocked when I hear like well, okay, so this was back in 2017 in February, which is a place nobody wants to leave their house in February in Edmonton. We definitely weren't here. 9 concerts in 6 days with some double headers in there, over 160,000 tickets for Garth Brooks in like 6 days, 9 shows in February.
And he keeps the prices at like 60, 70 bucks. Right. He won't let
Nice.
him charge more than that. Yeah. I mean, he keeps the prices down as well.
Yeah.
And it's a fantastic way to give back, right? If you're in that thing.
Yeah.
So that's where this started. It started off with, seeing that logo. And the reason why the logo stood out is if you go look at the Facebook post, it looks like our logo.
Oh, well, of course they're ripping us off because they're seeing how popular we are.
Totally, Luke Combs ripped us off, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
Luke,
he's like, going, "Oh yeah,
Luke."
yeah."
Luke.
So my post was, "Who wore it better, Mike and Blaine or Luke Combs?"
That might not go well for us. Actually, that question might go the other way.
Well, hey, I'm okay if I get beat by somebody because their skull logo's better. I'm like, yeah, I've only been beat by Luke Combs. I've only been beat by Luke Combs.
That is true. It's going maybe against the goat for that. So we'll
now here's something that we connect with Luke Combs on. In 2026, his tour sold 1.3 million tickets.
Wow.
Who else has something that happened in 2026 with 1.3 million?
Oh, we had more than 1.3 million.
Yeah, he's at 1.1371, so almost 1.4.
Ours a review of one of our shorts. Apparently I pissed off the world, but whatever, we'll take it. We'll take our 1 point. I think it's 1 point, maybe 4. We were maybe we were even ahead of Luke Combs on that one.
We're right in there. If you look at stats, he's got something at 1.3. We got something at 1.3. We're right in there.
They were right. Was it all like, he got paid probably an awful lot more than our free short, but hey, we'll take it, man. We'll take it.
So it just got me going. I mean, did you ever listen to? I know you listen to a lot of indie rock and a lot of bands I've never heard of. Did you ever listen to country music?
Yeah, I still listen to some, but it's a little like my other stuff I listen to. I kind of listen to a lot of indie, small time, outlaw sort of country, and so I don't listen to a lot of the I guess the stars or the top 40. I just rarely I think listen to now. No, I like Luke Combs though. That's one guy I know. I like his music. But mostly everything I listen to is I listen to a lot of old stuff and a lot of indie stuff. So I kind of know. I know some of it. But what I find interesting, and I'd never, ever thought about it until you brought this up, but the shows that have sold out our football stadium here, like AC/DC was here last week, probably sold it out. That's a big band. Metallica I know was here not too long ago. I think they sold it out. So to me, it's bands that have been around for 30, 40, 50 years. The only new young ones that I recall filling out the stadium are country. And I'd never really thought about that it seems like, yeah, country is the new pop. And maybe that's why I don't know it so much. I've been a huge pop fan generally.
Did country transition and now we don't think we're listening to country, right?
Yes, and I can tell you exactly when.
Okay, but before that, let's define what we think a country song is. What makes a song country?
Today, it's probably the fiddle every once in a while.
Okay,
and maybe if they wear a hat.
Yeah, wait a second. Now we said they had made a switch. They kind of tricked us into thinking it was country, then maybe it isn't. But let's go back and think about what we've always thought about being country. What are some things that are included in that genre in your mind?
Yeah. That's the actual music. Like there's usually a lot of acoustic guitar, a telly, electric guitar is a telly, a clean telly. There's usually like a lot of times there was a fiddle and things like that. The beats and everything were a particular way. The topics were, my truck, my dog ran away, my horse bucked me off, whatever. But today, and I'm going to tell you my thesis on when country changed.
Okay.
It was when Shania Twain made an album with Mutt Lange. And her album sounded like Def Leppard with some fiddles. And Mutt Lange actually was a big rock producer. In fact, I think he likely produced some of Def Leppard's albums. And when that came out, it basically just said, well, this is country. Just trust us on that. But it really was like 80s hair band metal. That's what a lot of country today, except there's a little bit of a drawl, the odd type, but it's much more has the beats and the guitars and everything. And they'll just have a little fiddle over top of it. That's what I kind of see.
So it's got a theme, it's got a topic that's similar. It's got, I think you said fiddle. I think you said an accent.
A little bit of a drawl.
Did you say I don't know what a telly is? Is that a steel guitar? Is that what I'm talking about?
That's an electric guitar, but it's a Fender Telecaster, and it's very common in country music. And a lot of the electric guitar you hear in country music, there's a particular sound. It's usually a telly. That's what kind of makes it sound. Have a little bit of.
We always call it. We always say that they had the steel guitar, which is the one that they played flat.
That would also be there's a fiddle steel guitar. That's definitely another one for sure. That would be definitely part of that.
All right, so you think it was Shania Twain and Mutt Lange?
And Mutt Lange, that's what I think, yeah. And I think it changed off of that album. I think it changed the country world and the pop world all at one time. Yeah. Because it was around that time where like hair bands and that fun active, like that type of beat and everything, it was destroyed by the Seattle sound around that same time. And actually, I don't think it went anywhere. I think it just sort of switched over to country, and the topics might have changed a little bit. That's about it.
All right. So it was Nirvana. Is Metallica, they're from that area too?
Around that era, but they were a little earlier, and they actually seem to be one of the very few that sort of stuck around. And yeah, but for a large part of it, the Soundgarden, Nirvana, Pearl Jam, and that whole Seattle sound changed music. Yeah, that changed music quite dramatically, at least for what the kids probably me in university. Like that's what we were kind of listening to. It had sort of shifted almost overnight. But I think a lot of that sound and fun and everything else just kind of moved over to country.
Yeah. So to me, I mean, and I had this conversation with a gentleman named Larry up in Tacoma, Washington. We were sitting there. We were having a couple of Coors Lights, and we debated: is there a difference really between rap music and country music? And we came to the conclusion, both of us, that there's no difference. There really isn't.
Yeah.
It's the same. Maybe the instruments used to create it are a little different, but other than that,
Yeah.
they're the same, right? About the storytelling and all that. If you really listen to the way, especially the way country music has evolved, they're
Mhm.
becoming more and more similar than they're not.
Yeah. And I actually think that was an intentional moving country into the pop mainstream. And the way to do it is they basically went, well, what's working in pop, and we're just going to adapt it.
Yeah. So let's play a game. I put this together just for this, right? Little game.
Okay. Yeah. I'm
I'm
probably
going to
going to
give
be
you,
bad at this.
yeah, but I'm going to
Whatever
give
it is,
you,
going to be bad.
I'm going to give you a list of things that you kind of said were in country music,
Okay.
and I want you to remove them one at a time until the last one or so is there. Because I want to know, what is the last truly country thing that's required to be a country song. So
Okay.
the last thing that's needed to be a country song. So the last thing you take away would say, if we just had this, it would still be country. You
Okay.
good? All
Yeah.
right. How about, here's the list. I'll tell you the whole list first, and then we'll
Sure.
go through and play it. So the list is this: cowboy boots, a
You can take it
southern
away.
accent. Huh? Yeah. I'm gonna tell you all of them so you'll
Sure.
know.
Okay.
Right?
Okay. Yeah.
So cowboy boots, a southern accent, a steel guitar, a fiddle, storytelling, a pickup truck, whiskey, heartbreak, small town, and somebody's mama.
Yeah.
All right, so go through. Let's kind of remove it. Just say you can.
I can tell you right now.
All right,
I
go
can tell you
ahead.
right now. It's a fiddle.
So as long as it has a fiddle, right, it's still country.
Yeah, because they can put a fiddle on anything, and all of a sudden it just sounds kind of country. But everything else can be removed. You don't have to have cowboy boots. You don't have to have a truck. You don't. Okay, you're going to fight me on this one. You don't have to have a story, because a lot of top 40 country, that stories, that's gone. There's some of them. Yeah, they have a story,
Coming
but
back,
that's not a requirement anymore.
totally coming back. Totally coming back in country music, right? So, and I'm telling you what, even Ed Sheeran had a fiddle in one of his songs.
Yeah.
So you're saying as long as it has a fiddle, it's country music.
Well, he did a country song, that one with the fiddle. Eminem also did an Ed Sheeran song. That was rap. Suddenly it was hip hop.
All right, so I don't think country went mainstream. I thought it went the other way around. I think mainstream went back country.
Oh, and I had no. I think it was very purposeful, and I think what's happened is it's once they started to get momentum and success, and most importantly, dollars, they have gone all in on the elements that make that sell.
Well, okay, so we're talking about sales. Remember, Taylor Swift started off country
Mhm.
and then went mainstream pop.
Yeah, but really, how different is it outside of removing a fiddle?
Oh, I don't, man, I don't know. Probably not that different. I like Taylor Swift too.
I'd say
Yeah.
it's a fiddle. She
You
had a
know,
fiddle before, and even the boots are gone, but she had the fiddle before. Once the fiddle was gone, now it's pop.
so the song I really like right now, and it's got to be one of the most popular ones. You probably have heard it or seen it,
Sure.
and I think she's from like either Alabama or Tennessee. I'm going to screw it up. It's probably Mississippi. Who knows? Louisiana. One of those states. But
Yeah.
her name's Ella Langley, and
Okay.
she tells a great story. And the song that has really got everybody's attention right now is called "Choosing Texas." Have you heard it?
No, I've never. That doesn't sound familiar. Maybe if you played the song, it would sound familiar. But no, I don't think I've heard that.
We don't have licenses to play songs.
So no, we can't do that. And
So we
you
can't do
singing
that.
it will probably won't help that much for me to tell what
No,
it
but
is.
people know. People know. I mean, when they listen to this, like, oh yeah, I know choosing Texas, but she's talking about losing her man because they were living in Tennessee, and she thought she had taken him all in, like he was all in on the relationship, all in on Tennessee. They went back to Amarillo and went to a bar. He somehow starts dancing with a girl, and all of a sudden she's by herself. That's basically what happens, right? He's choosing Texas, and I'm by myself. And that's what it is. So, but again, it has the storytelling, and she's great at telling the story, and she's got a few songs like that as well. But that is, I think, what's capturing people. I think the story still matters. I think that's why Toby Keith was great. That's why Garth is great, because even if you listen to a Garth song, it tells a story. Kenny Chesney is another one that just tells the story. And I think we're all captivated by the story. And I'm going to go a step further. I'm going to say this.
Okay. But that's universal to, first of all, it's not universal to all country songs, even though it's common. It's also very common in virtually every other genre. There's not that many genres that don't tell a story, and like a lot of the most effective songs and a lot of other styles. I shouldn't say genre, like a lot of other styles of music. They're still telling a story, right? Like that's a big part of music. So I don't think that's unique to country. So I think, like I said, it's a fiddle.
Maybe not unique to country, but I can tell you this, that not other genres, at least with me, and maybe it's a preference, I can listen to the song and have memories that I've never had. Of things I've never done. I can listen to Kenny Chesney talk about doing something on a lake, and I feel like I've done that. And I haven't. But I feel like it's a memory of mine somehow. So there's a different connection for me sometimes to the story, because they make me feel like I have a memory that I never had.
Jimmy Buffett can do that.
Yeah, probably right. But
that's just one.
Yeah, some people would argue that Jimmy Buffett, because of his connection with Alan Jackson, is more country than he was whatever else.
I guess, but that would be a very common thing, and I think that's why people listen to music, is to have a connection, right? So I think it's what relates to you, what you feel is relevant, but I think that would be really common across all sorts of styles of music, that you would make that connection. So I don't think that would be unique to country.
All right. Well, here's what's kind of, I can't even say that's unique now that you said that. But you remember during the World Cup, all these people came from all over the world, and they would go to the bars and all that. What did they end up doing? Line dancing. Right. But that's not even unique to country. Matter of fact, I think, you got the electric slide, you got, the bus stop, I think, was something my mom did back in the 60s or 70s. It was all kinds of these dances that people love to do together. And so let me go a step further then. If it's dancing, if it's storytelling, if it's the feeling, I think it's a sense of belonging. I think there's a sense of community that happens in country music. Why should you line dance?
Yeah, that also wouldn't be unique. Like,
No, mosh pits aren't the same as line dancing.
They aren't the same, but a sense of community.
It is a sense of community. You're right. I want to be in that. You're right. I want to be with everybody else because the excitement and the electricity is formed. Okay.
No. There's a certain age after, like, I remember one time throwing a guy up on top and I got kicked in the chops and knocked down. And there was some point I went, I'm too old for this shit. but it was fun, right? It was a fun, and that's what you did. It was part of the community. It was just kind of, and that's kind of a weird extreme one, but it is, that's a thing.
Yeah. Okay. So let me try a different thing there, because you keep batting them away like everybody's got.
Well, just like pop. But you keep giving me mush balls because, I think you're seeking something that's like you say this is so unique about country, and like, yeah, just for people who like country. That's about it.
No, actually, well, no, it's expanding outside. I mean, you got people in New York now wearing cowboy hats. You got, I see people on TV all the time now wearing cowboy boots. That didn't
Yeah,
happen before, right?
yeah.
There's more and more of that happening. And maybe you can say, well, back in the 90s, they wore, punk rock t-shirts or whatever it was, right? Maybe that's true. So, I mean,
Now, I will say that I think there was country style and clothes did hit much more in the 70s, and then it started to fade back into only country. But during the 70s, just remember looking at pictures, and I was very young around the 70s. I would say it stretched beyond country fans, and it became a bit of a style. And then I'll come back in a little bit.
all right. So you're saying it's a style, right? Sometimes it's a style. There are people in we'll say Texas that are ranchers that legitimately wear this stuff every day just to go to work, right? And now they're figuring out that, hey, my regular old clothes are luxury items.
But there's also a lot of country musicians that don't wear cowboy hats, right? And don't like
Hey, Luke Combs wears a baseball cap.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's I'm just trying to think as I don't know the names, but there's a lot of musicians that they would show up with probably sneakers and no hat, play country music, right?
Yeah. So when you think it's Shania Twain, is there another one past that? Past the Mutt Lang?
Well, I think she was the pivot point, and then everything took off from there. And I honestly think it moved into two camps at that point. That I don't know if it was the same. Where I think there's still two camps. There are indie artists in country now that are doing amazing stuff. They've been indie artists for years that have done amazing stuff. And they're the ones that are probably not in Nashville, and they're not invited to the big events, but they're amazing. And then there's the pop side. And I don't know if there was that much of two camps where there was kind of the roots side and the pop side before Shania Twain. Maybe there was some, but I don't think it was amplified to this level.
Man, I gotta almost agree with you, and I hate to, because I was always thinking that maybe it was like Jason Aldean and them kind of really changed it, a lot.
I don't know who that is.
That's all right. I mean, he's a small time country singer. You probably wouldn't know him.
Yeah, I don't know who that is. I was surprised to know Shania Twain. I remember that one. Yeah.
Well, I mean,
Garth Brooks.
yeah, no. Jason's probably one of these as big as Luke Combs or bigger.
Okay, I have a feeling that Luke Combs might be a bit of an edge case for me because I kind of liked his music, but then it turned out he was way bigger than I thought, and I'm okay with that. I like his music, but I don't think that's happened a lot with me with sort of top 40-ish country bands.
But I was going to agree with you on Shania Twain because I can go back and go, was the song "Man, I Feel Like a Woman" really a country song? If you think about what was happening before that, because I've been listening to prime country on Sirius Radio for a while.
Well, don't hurt your head with this stuff, man.
And they don't what? Prime country?
If it's top 40 country, that's just hurting your head.
No, prime country, they played like the 80s, 90s, 70s type country.
Oh, okay, I'm okay with that.
Yeah, the stuff that my mom and dad used to play. And that, another reason for the topic today is because I'm sitting driving in the car. I'm like going, this is actually better country. In some ways, better country music. And maybe
in all ways.
Yeah, but maybe it's the feeling, right? Is it nostalgia? Is it me thinking about mom or dad or where I heard the song first and those type of things? Yeah. Is it that makes it powerful?
I think there's a pretty big dose of nostalgia, but there's also a rootsy earthiness that I don't think it's so produced now. Like I think you could hear today in a lot of country, there's probably even auto tune and a lot of those things. That is pretty counter to Waylon Jennings and Willie Nelson and the whole gamut of those old time cowboy musicians. So, but when you mentioned Shania Twain's "Feel Like a Woman," I think is the name of that song. I remember that, but that one, if you took the fiddle away, would that even sound country? Would it have any connection to country if you took the fiddle away? Because the fiddle's really strong on that one. I think if that's gone, it ain't country.
Yeah. Huh.
Play that on an electric guitar, a little bit of distortion, and it is no longer a country song. And I'll argue, see, that's what I think that's what Taylor Swift did. Basically the same stuff, but you just gotta like, I'll get rid of the fiddle. I think that's what it is.
Yeah, maybe that's so that's the crossover. But yeah. Here's the thing we can't deny, right? We can debate all that other stuff, and there's probably a blend of every genre and every person because we like music. People like music. Yeah. It does something to you. There's a vibration, there's a frequency, there's something that makes you happy. But why is it winning right now? Like it is a thing that you see permeate across at least the U.S. culture. And man, you're right there next to Calgary, one of the, the home of the Calgary Stampede, one of the largest rodeos in the world. Yep. So, Houston's another one, right? San Antonio, we got a big one. Matter of fact, Tejas Rodeo, 2 miles from the house, is one of the one that's kind of a feeder system. If you want to learn how to rodeo, you go to Tejas Rodeo, and then you end up at San Antonio or Houston when you become better. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Why now? Right? Why is country more prevalent now than in the past?
I think I really don't know. I'm just speculating here. Is that the pendulum starts to swing back and forth, and I think what would be sort of pop music is generally it's a safe music, and I would say that a safe music is probably kind of sits in a bit of the roots sort of world. That's maybe what feels safe, because it's not now in this. There's some, like I said, there's two camps now, but I think the pop music camp that's so big, it does feel like a very familiar and a little bit of a safe area. And I think maybe it's that roots sort of feel that does it.
So in the 80s, when I was rebelling against my parents as a teenager, I stopped listening to a lot of country, and rap had just become, and I started becoming a rap fan, right? Yeah. I listened to a lot of rap. I mean, I thought I was all in on it. Loved it. But if I look back, I'm going, I loved it because it could tell a story. I didn't just, listen to it. I was singing along with it. I was dancing. I was dressing, the way, right? I felt like
I would love to see some pictures of that. The big baggy pants, the hammer pants.
Yeah, I had a glove.
Nice.
Yeah. We learned how to break dance. I mean, I wasn't carrying around cardboard with me, but we tried it.
We did. We carried cardboard to school. Yeah. We would have our cardboard. I could at that I couldn't even imagine. I could do like flips and like front flips and spins. I could never do the windmill thing. I was never strong enough to do that, but most of the other stuff we could half-ass pull off it. It was just awful.
I could windmill, maybe not as great as others, but pretty good.
Really? I could never get that one. I could do like once and then just...
I know you look at me now and you're like, well, that's a fat guy. I can't move. I know, but back then I was skinny. I was like agile. I mean, somebody showed on my Facebook today a picture of me in high school in a football uniform, right? Because I'd put one out there saying, hey, football season's here. And I put one for my freshman year, out there that somebody made a football card into. And they said, I like this one better. And it's like for my sophomore or junior year. I'm going, God damn, I was skinny. I wish I was that skinny again.
You have a few years on me. And so that little tiny window where we carried around cardboard and a beatbox, we had that whole thing. That was actually for me, like it was about grade 5 and 6. Like we were kids, and we did not have the strength to do a lot of that stuff. And then by the time we got to junior high, then it was it was kind of like really crappy indie punk because we all got skateboards and thought we were little skate punks, and that was the next little stretch there.
Yeah, so that breakdancing phase for me was somewhere around 11 to 15, right? 11 to 15 or something like that. And at 16, you get a car, and girls are more important.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
That's kind of what happened. Yeah,
Yeah.
That's funny. But I still liked it. I still go back every once in a while and watch the show Breaking. You remember that one?
Oh, well, I haven't seen it since then, but I remember, oh my God, it was the biggest show on the planet. I have a
Yeah.
feeling it's probably pretty hard to watch now, but like,
Oh
but
yeah,
maybe
it's
funny.
terrible. It's absolutely terrible. So I fast forward to the not for the story. I fast to the dancing part. Especially remember when they had to play on Mickey Mouse's magic broom thing. What was his name?
I remember that.
Turbo. Turbo was the guy that was sweeping the floor, and he had like a broom that he was controlling, almost like magic, right? And I'm sure there was wires and all that type of stuff. But the moves that he was making to control this broom as he swept the store was fantastic. It's my favorite dance scene in the whole movie.
Okay, I may have to pull that out again because I probably haven't seen it since it was actually in theaters in what would be like 85 or something. So
Yeah, you can just go to YouTube and look for Break-In Turbo Broom. And
okay, all right, I'll check it out. We have to throw that up on the Facebook page so you guys could see it.
Dude, it's one of the best ones I think ever. So what happens? All right, so let's just say that there's a big move because remember, well, I'm gonna say it this way: Mallory started liking some of these rap songs that people have named mumble rap. You know what I'm talking about?
Not
And
really.
this mumble rap is I can't understand the words. And I'm going, maybe the beat's okay, but I don't know what he's saying, so I don't connect with the song the same way as I do other genres and other songs.
Yeah.
I'm starting to see that die off in the newer rap songs that Mallory and Courtney are showing me now are back to words that you can hear and understand and sing along with. I'm like, that's what makes music, I think, the most popular thing in your life, or not popular, most impactful. You
Most
always remember
impactful,
where you were. Yeah, most impactful. So
yeah, no, I agree with that, and I like. I listen to. I know a lot of people my age tend to listen to the same music over like the stuff they're familiar with. I listen to some of that, but I still like new stuff. I'm always looking for new stuff, and I always want to hear new stuff. And the world is easier to do that now because I have, like Spotify does it, Apple Music does it. They'll suggest things based on what you're listening to, and you can find all kinds of cool stuff. And I found because otherwise, how would I find some weird little indie band that like it's really hard to find those. Like back in the day, we would go to record shops and I would go to the library and pull records from the library just so I could hear stuff without having to pay for it first to see if I actually like the stuff. Right. And it's harder now. You can find stuff. So I have thousands of songs on some of my playlists.
So did you find Kirk Hardy? Did he show up on your algorithm?
I haven't even heard that name before. I don't think.
Put in your Spotify and put in Kirk Hardy. Kirk, Kirk, Hardy, Hardy.
Well, I'm afraid to put that in because then what if then it'll keep recommending.
No, just search. Oh, you're afraid to put it in for search?
Yeah, because then it'll be like, oh, you must like Kirk Hardy, and then it'll never end. And I'm like, what if I don't like this guy? That's what YouTube does. It's like, I'm trying to fix a lawnmower, and then for the 5 months later, all you see are lawnmower crap.
Then ask Google what song Kirk Hardy sings.
Okay, I will ask.
So on Spotify, on Apple, on Google, whatever it is, Amazon.
Okay, I'll ask Gemini. What song does Kirk Hardy? Is he from the Hardy Boys?
No, he's from Virginia.
Okay, investigate. Oh, so this is taking a while. Investigating Kirk Hardy. I think I don't have it on the fast version right now, so it's
you got it on pro. You got heavy thinking.
Oh, it's doing some heavy thinking, and I feel a little bad because those data centers are just humming right now for a really stupid
Yeah,
question.
sucking up water and everything. Yeah. You're hurt.
Okay, cash flow Mike is the first one. Oh boy. Okay.
Come on, that's funny.
That is. How did that happen? Okay, you're gonna have to tell me that.
Dude, my song is on Spotify. It's on Apple. It's on, Amazon Music.
Should I read the other songs from Kirk Hardy?
I don't know. Has he got more?
He does.
I mean, he wrote that one about me and put it out there.
Okay, that's pretty hilarious. We'll have to put that on the Facebook page because I do need to hear that. He has one called Aw Nah. The Henny Made Me Do It. I'm assuming that would probably be Hennessy. I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Curbed the Caddy. I don't know what that is. I think that might be a golf thing. Okay. This one's slightly inappropriate. MILF Hunting. And Eating Psychedelics, Pimpin' and Trippin' on the Blockchain. So, okay.
Yeah. There you go.
Anyway,
Kirk Hardy.
there you go. You're a famous on Spotify.
It's a good song. You never heard the song?
Well, I might have, because I think you may have put something up one time that I listened to, but I didn't know any context or anything about it, and just I heard that.
Yeah. So Kirk Hardy made the song, put it out there.
All right. Well, man, that's good stuff, man. You're a superstar.
You know what's really funny about it is that Courtney and Mallory don't like the song that much, and so every time they're starting to just annoy me, I just go, Alexa, play Cash for Mike.
Nice.
Oh, look, it's already going. Alexa, stop.
Oh, I could hear something in the background there. So it knows you well.
I think that's funny. It's funny if I have friends come over, I'm like, you guys don't have songs written about you?
Here we go. Just put it on repeat. You got to get that into. You should see if you can find a bar where they got Spotify playing, because sometimes some of these you can log in online and you can actually pay to have the songs played, and they can just do like an entire night of Cash for Mike.
It happened 2 weeks ago at the banking school. I didn't see it, I didn't hear it, but I played it during at the beginning of getting to know everybody. Played the song because it's kind of funny. It makes you just kind of be human and all that. Yeah. And throughout the whole week, this group of bankers would go to like the bars, the karaoke bars or whatever at night, and they would play it at the bars and they would play it in the Uber on the ride home.
Nice.
That's funny, right?
They're gonna this guy, what's his name? Kirk Hardy. He's probably gonna wonder, hey, how come I just suddenly had this burst of plays in whatever, it's like all over the country here and here. Suddenly there's this big burst of plays for a couple nights.
What's funny is that I have another guy that I do that to. He has no idea that I know him at all. We've never talked. We don't know anything about it, but he has a free personality test on his website. And part of what I teach is the social styles model. About, are you a driver, expressive and amiable, or an analytical style? Well, he's got like a 4-minute quiz, and it's just a list of stuff, and you go click it. I'm this, I'm this, I'm this, I'm this, I'm this, and then it gives you the result. You're this type of person, right? Yeah. So I make people kind of put an X on a piece of paper where they think they are, and I say, oh, by the way, if you want to know what you are from a real test standpoint, go to this, and it's retaildoctor.org personality test or something like that. So I mean, I don't know the exact URL, but it's that. So I'm like going, he's got to be the most confused website owner in the world, right? Because he's like going, damn, I'm killing it in Boulder this week. And then the week after that, it's in Sacramento, right? So wherever I go to speak and tell people this story, that they all go download his thing. And
nice.
He probably has no idea where that traffic's coming from.
No, he would just see it. But it's fun. We've seen that before sometimes with dry run, where we'll suddenly just have this big spike for some reason. We're like, I don't know why. And we'll search. We'll never figure it out. Just some strange reason somebody mentioned us somewhere, and we'll have a spike. And
Yeah, could be me.
we don't look
It could
anymore
be me.
because it's like,
Hey,
well, whatever.
sometimes it could be me. Runs a company called Dry Run. Does and I tell people what it is, and they go look it up.
Nice. Well, much appreciated.
Do you
Nice
ever
to
do
hear.
it for me?
All the time. Cash. I do actually. I do mention. Well, but I'm not in front of crowds. But I do mention you. But I'm not on stage like you are
Yeah,
as
mess
often
with you.
anymore. So
I just mess with you. So, all right. So
well,
think about attaching your brand. Right, we're coming up on the hour. So think about attaching your brand to a song. Good idea, bad idea. You see it all the time, like in commercials, those type of things. I mean, what's your thoughts on that?
I think I wouldn't do it unless you actually hire an artist, and it's clearly an artist, and that's clear, like it's not AI. I think that's really important. Like we have fun. We get our little AI, whatever. But I think to do something like that for your brand and have like have people really like be interested and respect and everything. I think it has to be like a real artist. Like our intro song, that's a person, man. There's no AI in that. But I think that's how I would view it. Is it's important on how it's executed and who it's executed with. I think
Yeah, our intro song was well before AI.
way before, yeah, it
Well
was.
before AI it was. Now those little jingles, all AI.
Oh yeah,
Every
I
one of them.
think people can tell. That's quite all right.
But they're still fun, right?
But
I
they're
actually,
fun.
yeah, I actually think that added to the beginning of our show.
Yeah, I do too. I think, and they're fun. And this is the only way you would do them is a silly little AI slop thing. That's where AI like it works, right? It's just a funny little clip. That isn't major amazing content, but it works great for that.
All right, so how would we? Here's what I'm thinking. I mean, there's got to be a way to really though put legitimate music into your brand. People do all the time in the commercials. There's always like a familiar song,
Mhm.
not always, but sometimes a familiar song behind it. And I always wonder, like, what is it that really makes that successful? Because you're attaching yourself to that song, which means you're attaching yourself to that person, right? Which is
Yeah,
always, who knows?
a little
Uh,
dangerous. Yeah, that's Subway.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
that's a little dangerous. Yeah.
here's some things I wouldn't do. I wouldn't try to, attach myself to a specific category, right? It would have to be kind of a feeling and would have
Mhm.
to be more about the customer than the brand in my
Mhm.
mind. And
Has to be about the customer. That's
yeah,
that's I think that's one of the big follies that brands often do is if they're trying to build it on the brand, it really has everything's about the customer. The customer is the ultimate decider on everything. And but that's also a challenge. Like if you know like if you're selling cowboy boots, you probably pretty decent chance your customers a large percentage of like country music. I would guess. Maybe I'm characterizing, but like for us, we sell to CFOs. Well, yeah, okay. What do you want to attach yourself to a genre or type of style of music that some people will identify with and most maybe don't? I don't know.
yeah, because probably every CFO listens to something different.
Yeah, there's no connecting line, I think, but in that area with the CFO, right?
Yeah, what I like about our jingle, right, the one that was made, is that
Yep.
it gives somebody another connection to us
Mhm.
that isn't by this. Or
Yeah.
it's
Yep.
not by this anything. It's not. It's just a connection to us saying this is the type of people we are. We're kind of goofy. We're kind of, we
But
think.
that's interesting. That's why it works because it's actually okay. This actually flipped it all the way around because that's actually about the brand, not the customer. Because it's this sort of 90s sitcom hip hoppy sort of song.
Yeah,
Um, and but it tells it is, I guess, about the customer, but it tells the customer, it tells the listener in this case. It gives you a bit of an idea that it's light and it's fun, and that jives really well with what we do. I think it might be a little bit challenging to make that work with some businesses.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to think about, my business right now. And I want to ask myself, because of the way I do things, if you recognize the song, the jingle or whatever, or Casual Mike song or whatever it is, can you recognize other customers of mine through the song? If they knew the song, if they,
Yeah.
does it build a sense of community? If we talk about music as building a community, is that what it's doing? Right? I mean,
Mhm.
can it help recruit others? Right. That's one of the reasons why I like the Kirk Hardy song, is that, it says in there a lot of times in the chorus, "Cash on Mike, clear path to cash," over and 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 over again. So, but they recognize the name with the product, the name of the product, the name of the product. So, I mean, there's part of
Yeah.
salesmanship in there, and it can be overdone. It can be cheesy. It can be dumb, but can it also be successful recruiting or retaining customers?
Yeah, I think it's time and place. I think it's the right context. I think it could work really well. The wrong context, it'd just be weird and probably not work. That's yeah. There's no one size fits all. I think, but
Yeah. So the reason why country music stars or any music stars have popularity is that they don't have customers, they have fans,
yeah.
right? And is that what we need to focus on? Is I want somebody to like my brand well enough to be a fan, not just a customer.
I think there's context there too, for
Right.
sure. And not like okay, I'll say this because there's we heard a lot you hear a lot about building community and for a while it was like build an online community where people can talk about your brand and like a very one size fits all generic advice, but boy, the experts are saying that was really important. And it wasn't that long ago I got an email from uh it was a I can't even remember which one. This is how impactful it was. It was a software company and it was join the community, and it was all about joining the community to talk about, I guess, their product or whatever. And it just felt so disingenuous. I'm like,
Yeah.
why would I join a community? I can't even remember what it was for, but why would I join a community? All I remember was for that. What would I possibly talk with other people about? And why would I waste a second? Like it made zero sense outside of somebody came up with the idea that, well, we have to do community. And it was probably someone in the C suite read a blog post and said, we have to do this and force someone to do it. And then it's like crickets, because it makes no sense. It's completely counter to the customer. It doesn't make any sense for the customer.
Yeah, the online communities, I mean, they're just difficult. They're challenging. They're, unless you're there to answer or ask a question. How do I do this? Or, how did you guys
Yeah.
figure this out? That type of stuff. I think that's where community kind of engages. But
Yeah. But even to ask a question, generally, it's like the help site, the chat bot. Like I'm asking like how I could do X with my software so it would do Y. I am not joining a community, posting something and hoping within the next week someone will answer my like simple technical question, right?
that's, that's true.
It just doesn't always make sense at all. And I think a lot of times there's a one size fits all approach. It's like, well, if it works over here, it has to work over there. No, it doesn't. Not at all.
All right. So let me rephrase what I meant about the customer versus fan. Now that you said that, I'm like going, all right. So I think customers buy products, and I think fans recruit customers. How about
Well,
that?
yeah, but I think those are
I've missed
like
on everything with you today. I've missed every single statement on with you today. You've batted it down. What about that one?
it's just a conversation. No, well, no, like I see like if you have a business and you can create fans that are going to be they always say evangelists for your business, that's outstanding. But how you do that, I think a lot of times is just um, there's not a trick to it. It's some businesses, it's just really good service and a good price, and you'll get referrals. And there's nothing you can do. Like, creating the fan is that you've done your job really well. It doesn't mean that they're like, getting that referral isn't necessarily like, this is the most fun place to go and it's the most engaging. You're creating a fan just by doing your job really well. And it's like, that plumber did an outstanding job, fair price, they did it quick. Yeah, you're probably, like, I guess, in a way, a fan, like, you're an evangelist of that. But the reason they would get that is because they did the job well, did it right, did it quick.
There you go. Hey, I'm a fan of yours, and I'm so glad you've listened to Mike and Blaine for an hour talking about country music and how it's taken over the North American culture. So if you want to say that we're wrong, or if you want to listen to more topics like this, I want you to go to mikeandblaine.com. I want you to check out our merch, like, subscribe, follow. What I miss?
That's it. Well, and tell your friends. Definitely tell your friends to listen to the show. But those are the big ones for us. And we are in 249 next week, and then the one after 250 is the whiskey episode. Don't want to miss that.
Dude, I already know the whiskey I'm going to do.
All right, nice.
The CFO of Michter's Distillery looked at my LinkedIn profile. Yeah, I'm drinking Michter's.
All right, nice.
There we go.
I haven't picked yet, and I might get a special bottle just for that week. Just something I haven't had before. If I have time, I'll go pick something up. But I'll pick something fun for that episode for sure.
There you go. Hey, talk to you next time.
Thanks everybody for watching.